Imagine the scene. You've spent weeks researching, you've paired specs, watched dozens of reviews, and finally decided on the car you want. You walk into a dealership, ready to make one of the biggest purchases of your life. But instead of a simple transaction, you're met with a performance. You're ushered into a small office. You're presented with a four-square worksheet. There's the classic phrase, "Let me go talk to my manager." By the time you leave, hours later, you're exhausted, frustrated, and you've likely paid thousands of dollars in fees you don't even understand. You would never accept this when buying a laptop or a smartphone. Why is it the standard for a $40,000 vehicle? The answer lies in a century-old power struggle between those who build cars and those who sell them. Today, we are diving deep into the brutal economics of the automotive industry. We are going to explain why Tesla is fighting a multi-front war to stay away from dealers, why legacy brands like Ford and GM are desperately trying to escape their own partners, and how this entire system is built to keep your money flowing into the wrong pockets. To understand why your next car costs so much, we first have to look at the middleman tax. In the traditional automotive world, a company like Ford does not sell a car to you. They sell it to an independent franchise dealership. From the moment that car leaves the factory, Ford has made its money. But the dealership now has a massive problem. They have millions of dollars inventory sitting on a lot, and they are paying interest on the loans used to buy those cars. This is called flooring cost. To cover these costs, plus the massive overhead of a physical showroom and local advertising, the dealer has to find profit wherever they can. Industry analysts estimate that the traditional dealership model adds roughly $2,000 to $3,000 in pure friction costs to every single vehicle. This isn't value added to the car, it's just the cost of the middlemen existing. Tesla, by contrast, uses vertical integration. They own the gallery, they own the website, and they own the delivery center. By cutting out the middleman, Tesla can theoretically maintain higher profit margins. As we've seen recently, aggressively cut prices to start a market war that legacy brands simply cannot afford to join. But the financial friction is only the beginning. The real conflict of interest starts in the service department. Here is the dirty secret of the automotive industry. Dealerships do not make their real money selling new cars. In a good year, a new car sale might have a profit margin of only 2 or 3%. The real gold mine is the service bay. This is where they sell you the oil changes, the transmission flushes, the spark plug replacements, and the belt tensioners. A traditional internal combustion engine is a mechanical clockwork of over 2,000 moving parts. It is designed to eventually fail or require maintenance. Now consider the electric vehicle. A Tesla drivetrain has about 20 moving parts. There is no oil to change. There are no mufflers, no catalytic converters, and no complex multi-speed transmissions. If you are a dealership whose entire business model relies on cars breaking down or needing maintenance every 6 months, why would you ever want to sell an electric vehicle? This is exactly why we see so much friction at legacy dealerships. There are countless reports of sales associates steering customers away from EVs and back toward gas-powered cars. From the dealer's perspective, an EV is a product that kills their future revenue. Tesla, however, doesn't care. Their business model isn't built on the hope that your car will need a repair. It's built on the software and the brand experience. So, if the direct-to-consumer model is so much more efficient, why don't the giants like Ford, General Motors, or Toyota just switch tomorrow? The answer is a legal trap that was set decades ago. In the early days of the car industry, manufacturers were the giants, and dealers were small, local businesses. To prevent Ford or GM from opening a factory store right across the street and putting a local businessman out of business, states passed franchise laws. These laws were originally designed to protect the little guy. But today, these dealer groups have grown into multi-billion-dollar corporations with massive political power. In many American states, it is literally illegal for a manufacturer to sell a car directly to a consumer if they already have a franchise network. The dealers have become one of the most powerful lobbying forces in local politics. They are often the largest taxpayers and the biggest political donors in their districts. Tesla's massive advantage was that they started with a clean sheet of paper. Since they never had a single franchise dealer, they argued that the laws protecting dealers didn't apply to them. They weren't competing with their own partners because they didn't have any. This led to a decade of intense legal battles. In states like Texas and Michigan, Tesla was banned from selling cars for years. They had to open galleries where employees weren't even allowed to tell you the price of the car. But slowly, the wall is breaking. Legacy brands are watching Tesla's success with a mix of jealousy and desperation. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, has been very vocal about this. He admitted that Ford is at a $2,000 disadvantage per car compared to Tesla just because of the distribution model. Ford even tried to create a separate entity called Model E, demanding that their dealers invest millions in EV chargers and agree to no haggle pricing if they wanted to sell electric cars. The pushback from the dealers was immediate and fierce, resulting in lawsuits and a scaling back of those requirements. The legacy brands are in what we call the innovator's dilemma. They have a massive, profitable business selling gas cars through dealers, but that very system is what prevents them from competing in the future. They are trying to rebuild the wings of an airplane while it's in a dive. They cannot fire their dealers, and they cannot easily change the laws that protect them. Meanwhile, the consumer experience is shifting. We live in the era of Amazon and DoorDash. We expect transparency and speed. The idea of spending 6 hours in a dealership to buy a car feels like a relic of the 1950s. Tesla proved that people are willing to buy a $60,000 car on their phone while sitting on their couch. As we look toward the end of this decade, the dealership as we know it is facing an existential crisis. If they can't make money on service, and they can't justify their markups on the sales floor, what is their purpose? Some brands are trying an agency model, where the dealer becomes a mere delivery center with a fixed commission. But even that is being fought tooth and nail in the courts. In the end, this isn't just about Tesla versus Ford. It's about a clash between two different centuries of economics. One side is built on low protectionism and service revenue, while the other is built on digital efficiency and direct scale. The transition will be messy, it will be expensive, and it will involve a lot more lawyers. But for the consumer, the path forward is clear. The days of the traditional car salesman might be numbered, and for most of us, that day can't come soon enough. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the business of the automotive world. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have a lot more coming on the economics and history of the machines that move us. See you in the next one.